So the next in scope item is the underwriting module that is in here. So underwriting module to support credit evaluation, risk assessment, and approval of line of credit application in alignment with bank policies. So now once you apply for line of credit, there is a set of criteria that they will see and figure out whether the application meets those criteria. We need application pages or application modules for that. So that needs to be built. That is in scope. Next is the sales and marketing module. We want to sell the line of credit to customers. We need application modules or application pages for that. We want to market the line of credit to customers. We need to do all the promotion work. We need application pages or application modules. So that is in scope. We need to build all that. Next is customer relationship and servicing module to manage customer service interactions, active line of credit accounts, balances, repayments, and ongoing servicing activities. Meaning there is a complaint or maybe a customer has a questions, they'll call customer service and customer service should help. In order to do all that, we need applications. In order to track all that, we need application modules. So we need to build that for line of credit. So next up is a legal policy and collection module to support policy, delinquency management, collection activities, legal action related to line of credit accounts. So say, for example, somebody takes a line of credit and they don't pay back. Now, legal has to do the needful. Lawyers, attorneys should do the needful. Will have to send them to collection, and that way their credit is affected. That way they'll try to pay us back. So for that, in order to track all that, we need application or modules in the application. We need to build out pages to in the application to execute all that. And reporting and insights module to provide visibility into product performance, portfolio health, operational activity, and compliance oversight. Performance: how much money are we making? How much revenue are we making? Are we in compliance with all the policies? So in order to track and capture that, we need some application pages and modules. So that is also listed in the in scope items. Now, as a business analyst, why should you be aware of all these in scope items? Why is it very important for you to be aware of all these in scope items? The reason is when, like I said before in the previous video, when a business stakeholder will give you a requirement, you need to be able to figure out whether it is in scope or out of scope. Example, they give a requirement about capturing savings account related information. If you think about it, it has got nothing to do with line of credit. So you should be able to say, you should be able to look into all these in scope items in here. All these in scope items, you should be able to look into all these in scope items and get back to the business stakeholders and say, this is out of scope because it's not included in the in scope items. That is what you should cite. Let's say they want to build a page related to credit card tracking. That has got nothing to do with line of credit. That's not included in all these in scope items, right? So you should again cite the in scope items and say this is out of scope because it's not included in the in scope items in the project charter. That's one way of making a determination whether a requirement is in scope or out of scope. Hope that's clear. So that is the in scope segment. So next is the project team. So the project team consists of two broad segments. And by the way, everybody in here, these are all fictitious names. I just want to mimic a real-time document. Hence, I've just generated these names. So there's two broad segment. One is the project team. One is the business team, and another one is the IT team. So when it comes to the business team, there's Michael, who's the executive sponsor. There is Laura, who's the director of credit risk. There is David, who's the vice president of sales and marketing. There is Priya, who's the director of customer operations. There is Robert, who's the director of collections and recovery. And there is Angela, who is the head of legal and compliance. When it comes to IT, there is Chief Information Officer Jason. Emily is the project manager. Ravi is the lead business analyst. Kevin is the solution architect. Sarah is the development manager. Daniel is the tech lead, senior software developer. And Aisha, Chris, they are developers. Mark and Nina and Alex and they are testers. And Anil is the data person. He's the data and reporting lead. He runs he configures all those reports, all those performance reports that you see is configured by Anil. He's the data and reporting lead. So these are all the, when it comes to project team, these are all the folks who come under the business team and IT team. Like we discussed previously, any IT project, there needs to be two broad entities. One is the business and IT. So I've kind of extensively covered business and IT team for the project team stakeholders. Next is the project stakeholders, right? So what's the difference between project teams and project stakeholders? What's the difference? So project team, be it business team or the IT team, are folks who directly work on the project. They are actually working on the project, right? When it comes to project stakeholders, anybody who's impacted by the project, they are project stakeholders. Anybody who's working on the project and they might be impacted, they are project team, business team, IT team. Anybody who is only impacted by the project, they are project stakeholders. So, who are all the business stakeholders, under project stakeholders, executive leadership? They are not going to work on the project, they are impacted by it, right? Lending leadership, credit risk management, sales, marketing team, customer operations, collections and recovery, legal department, compliance and regulatory departments, finance and accounting. So, these folks are not extensively working for the project, but they are impacted by it. There's just an impact, right? When it comes to IT stakeholders, there's IT leadership, architecture team, app dev team, quality assurance, data and reporting, IT operation, information security team, IT support. So they are all impacted by the project. As teams, they are all impacted by the project. So next is external stakeholders would be the vendors who are working on this project. So they are, again, they are impacted by it, right? If the project goes well, they get paid, but they are not directly working. They are working through a vendor. So we can call them external stakeholders because they are working through another vendor. So we can call them stakeholders, right? External stakeholders. So Salesforce team, who's external, Mambu, these are all external SaaS stakeholders, external teams who are implementing the SaaS for us. uh, Regulatory bodies. So they might be looking into our application to see if we are in compliance. System integration partners, auditors, customers. We are also impacted. I get another product which I might be interested in. So that's customers, right? Third party service providers. So they are all, in a way, impacted by this project. Hence, they are external stakeholders. And who work indirectly for our project can also be external stakeholders. Vendors are external stakeholders. They work indirectly, right? Salesforce and Mambu vendors, they work indirectly. They don't work directly. Whereas the business and IT team, and who's in intelligence bank, they directly work for this project on a direct basis, on a more direct basis. Hence we've categorized them under a project team. So these are the project team and project stakeholders. So if you have to kind of know the difference between project team and project stakeholders, project team, anybody who is working on on the project on a direct basis, project team members. Project stakeholders, anybody who is impacted by the project would be project stakeholders. That's how you need to differentiate. So next item in the project charter is the budget. So the total approved budget for this project is $8 million for 24-month period. The budget covers SaaS licensing for Salesforce and Mambu system, system integration, implementing services, internal IT staffing, testing and compliance validation, data setup reporting, training, change management, and contingency to address regulatory or delivery risks. So the overall budget is also given in the project charter. For this project, for a period of 2 years, the budget is $8 million. That's what we are spending on this project. So the next item is risk, right, for this project. So anything that's not in our control and we can do something about it, there is some time to do something about it, would be a risk. Example, regulatory interpretation changes during the implementation period may require adjustment to product configuration or controls late in the project cycle. So what this means is now we are designing the product based on the current regulatory environment. 18 months from now, those regulations might change. We might need to make modifications to our line of credit product based on those regulatory changes. This is not in our control. We don't know if Congress and Senate or the government will pass another law or when they'll pass a law. We don't know whether that will happen or not. It's not in our control. So, intelligent bank stakeholders cannot go and directly control government policies. And what will get passed tomorrow? We don't know. So, that is a risk, right? Because it's a 2 year project. So suddenly they pass a regulation saying the interest rate should not be less than a certain number or more than a certain number. We might need to make changes. And say, for example, if there is I don't know, a health problem, a specific health problem, then that line of credit should not go into collection. I don't know. I'm just thinking of a random scenario, right? Then we might have to make change to the collection module. Hey, if these conditions are met, don't send them to collection, right? So again, this is not in our control, hence that's a risk, and we can do something about it. We can make those changes based on the regulatory changes. It's not staring right at our face, right? So second one is dependency on Salesforce and Mambu release schedule and platform capabilities may introduce limitations or unplanned rework during implementation. So meaning we are dependent on Salesforce and Mambu stakeholders and their capabilities, the Salesforce capability and Mambu capability might have limitations. They might not be able to deliver the features and functionalities and the requirements that we want them to deliver. That might happen. Not sure, but might happen. So that limitations are generally there in SaaS tools. But we'll go over SaaS tools in depth during systems. You'll understand it better. Right now, just understand this much. We are using Salesforce and Mambu tools. Think of it as tools. We are using Salesforce and Mambu to build the application that we are trying to build for our line of credit financial product. So we are building that all those pages for line of credit, be it the product configuration or sales page, customer service page to capture whatever it is the customer is saying, the collections page, etc. is built using Salesforce and Mambu. These are pre-made tools. So everything we don't code from the ground up. It's pre-made, and we just make some minute configuration and we just implement it. So they might have some limitations. So they might not be able to deliver all the requirements that we are asking for. That is what risk number two means, right? So again, this might happen. It's not happening right now. It might happen. There's some time to figure out a way around. So it's still a risk. Next is extended reliance on business stakeholders over a 2 year timeline increases the risk of decision delays or stakeholder turnover impacting delivery. Meaning, the business are the one who will give requirements, correct? You know this, right? We discussed about this several times. So now, let me just go to the business team, right? Yeah. Um, so now, let's say, for example, David or Priya. So they have to be around for 2 years fully till the product goes live, because they are the ones who are giving the requirements. They are the ones who should approve those requirements. If they leave and someone new comes in, then the new stakeholder might not approve the requirements that are given by David and Priya, which is a concern. And over a 2 year period, someone is going to leave. Let's face it. Over a 2 year period, somebody is going to leave the organization. How are we going to deal with that? Since it's going to take 24 months to build this product. That is a risk. Again, we can do something about it. It is not staring at our face. We can do something about it. At some point, somebody is going to leave, so we can kind of come up with a game plan and figure out a way ahead. So that is a risk. And next is the issues, right? Differences in interpretation of credit policies across underwriting, legal, and compliance team may delay configuration. Um, so, in general, right, I'll first go over what an issue is. So, issue is something that is staring us right at our face. Meaning, we don't have time to figure a way around. A risk could be an issue. A risk could be there might be technical team turnover. That is a risk. Maybe we are not providing them market salary, we might be providing them less salary, whatever it is, right? There might be employee turnover as a risk. 3 employees have left from the development team. 3 employees have left. That is an issue. It is staring right at our face. We have less time to react. That is a issue. So this is the difference between risk and an issue. A good example of an issue would be issue number 2 here, right? Existing data sources may require additional cleansing and validation before they can support testing, reporting, and go live readiness. So the current data is not very clean. There is nothing that we can do about it. So currently, the data is not clean, right? And it's not like the data might. So we need to do something about it. It's an issue. It's not clean. It's black and white. And right now we have to do something about it. So it's an issue. So delays in so another example of issue that I would like to convey is I would not call these items issues. So I'm just going to strike this off, right? Um, so I don't think they are very strong issues. So these two items I'm going to strike this off. I'm just going to go to review and I'm just going to yeah. Strike these two items off, and then I'm gonna come up with my own issue, which is uh, as per initial high level estimate, it will take 28 months to build the line of credit product. We The expectation is we need to go live in 24 months and finish building the LOC product. We are down by 4 months. This is an issue. So this is an issue, right? This is a good example of an issue where we need to kind of we did some high level estimate. All the director level staff and manager level staff estimated how long it will take to finish this project. And we came up with an estimate of 28 months. But then when it comes to executives and high level stakeholders, they said, maybe the CEO or the CPO, whoever it is, they came and said, we need this product live in 24 months. So we are down by 4 months. This is an issue because it's like we are down by 4 months. The project is started. It's staring right at our face. The timeline we are right now, we are down by 5 months already. There's nothing that we can do. I cannot think my way out of it. It's not like a risk. I cannot think my way out of it. We are down by 4 months. It's an issue that I have to deal with every second. I cannot think my way out of it right now since we are down by 4 months. I cannot strategize my way around it unless I descope some work. So if without descoping, I cannot strategize my way around uh, that lack of 4 months, that time crunch, right? So it's an issue. It's staring right at our face. So this is a good example of an issue. Whereas a risk, we can do something about it, right? There is some time. Issue staring right at our face. Think about it that way. And issue number one would be a good example of how it works. And even issue number two is a good example. The data sources may require additional cleansing and validation, meaning the current data, it's not clean. That's an issue. We cannot strategize our way around non-clean data. So we can cleanse it, but again, it's staring right at our face. We need to take some time. We need to cleanse it. There might be some more problem. It's an issue that we need to deal with right now and we cannot work our way around it or anything. So I would still call it an issue. So this is another section in the project charter. So just a brief overview. It has the document version, it has approvers, it has the business purpose, project goals, in scope items that the business analyst should be aware of, project team, which consists of business team and IT team, project stakeholders, business stakeholders, IT stakeholders who are impacted by the project. They might be working indirectly on the project, but mostly as long as you are impacted, you are a stakeholder. Business team and IT team, project team, you have to be directly working on that project. Project stakeholders, if you are impacted, you are a project stakeholder, right? Example, end users. Example, customers. There is some impact on you. So we will put your name in there. Project budget $8 million, risks and issues. We saw the differences between risks and issues. So this is what an IT project charter will contain. Even in real time, you will be seeing a format that aligns to what you saw here, that aligns to all these sections. Similarly, it's going to be it's going to look similar. The template is going to be similar. So this is how it's done in real time. I put the logo, the title, the version, the approver names, and some fictitious names and emails, and all the sections are included. This is exactly how an IT project will look. So hope you got some level of familiarity. And as a IT, so now who's going to document this? The IT project manager will document the IT project charter. So, as a business analyst, why should you learn it? You should learn it because you should be able to figure out what is the timeline of this project. How much work can we take up? How long can I gather requirements? If it's a 24 months project, you can only allot certain amount of time for requirements gathering. So how are you going to figure it out? Project charter. It has the timeline, right? Um, and most importantly, the in-scope items. They give you a requirement. We don't want you to blindly capture it. As an IT team, The team doesn't want you to capture requirements blindly. You need to figure out whether a requirement is in scope or out of scope. Any out of scope requirements should notify the business that this is out of scope, hence we cannot capture this in the requirements document. And when you say that, you need to cite the project charter, right? And as a business analyst, in order to ask all the right questions, so we talked about elicitation where you will ask them some questions, and even if the business is not able to give the requirements clearly, you have to ask questions in such a way that they get that clarity and then the business gives the requirements properly based on the questions, the sensible questions you asked. You will ask a lot of what questions. What do you need? And you will ask a lot of why questions. Why do you need it? What do you need? I need a drop down. Why do you need it? Because I want to capture all the revenue information. Why are you capturing the revenue information? So what and why? In order to ask sensible questions, you need to understand the business purpose. You need to understand the project goals. You need to understand the in-scope items. Only then you'll be able to ask sensible questions during the requirements gathering meeting. Hence, as an IT business analyst, although you are not documenting the project charter, you should have familiarity of the project charter and know what's in there. So you need to have that end-to-end familiarity. That is the reason, as an IT business analyst, we are learning what a project charter is, what it will contain, what's your role, all that we are learning, and we are going over it segment by segment. That's the reason, right? So hope this is clear. Hope you gathered some sensible knowledge, some sensible real time content out of this session. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'll respond to your questions. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next session.